comes out from the roots. I've consulted a doctor about this condition, and he has told me that it could possibly be a genetic disorder. I haven't been performing my salah as often as I should due to this problem. Is there a ruling for this, whereby I can do masah of the hair in my wudu in a way that will decrease the chances of more hair coming out, i.e., that is, doing masah on top of a cap, like the cap I'm wearing, you could just wipe on the cap. Do you know of any natural remedies for this problem, something that was prescribed by the Prophet ﷺ or early Islamic tradition? Jazakumullah khair, wassalamu alaikum. Well, this is a test for you, brother. It's a test which Allah has put on you. If you are avoiding your prayers because you don't want to wipe your hair, you're wiping your wet hand on your head, you know, this wiping of the wet hand on your head is causing some of your hair to fall out. Now, that's how you perceive it. Then this is a test for you. If you give up your prayers because of that, then you have failed the test. Because, ultimately, what is your hair and what is prayer? Your hair is falling out anyhow. No matter what you do, ultimately you can't stop it. There are people who go bald. Look around you. There are people who are bald, have no hair on their head at all. So, then, what are we going to do? Are we going to sacrifice something which God has made obligatory on us because of a need that we have? Not because He needs. He doesn't need our prayers. We're doing it, or we have obliged us to do it because it is something we need to do. So we're going to sacrifice that because some hair is falling out of our head when we wipe it. What about when you make ghusl, when you take a bath? So then you're not taking a bath, a complete bath. And then you have to rub your head afterwards, whatever. So it means that you will be in a state of janaba. You cannot purify yourself properly. No. You have to put this aside and just do what you have to do. If the consequence is that your hair is falling out, then it's falling out. You ask Allah's protection. If it is a product of anything that you have done, ask His forgiveness. Try to seek whatever treatment can be found. You can't find any treatment, then you just have to be patient with it. Think of your loss of hair and think of people who have cerebral palsy and, Hodgkin's disease and all kinds of other things that people are suffering from in the world around you. Don't focus on yourself. Okay, the people around you have full heads of hair, and their hair is not falling out, but yours is. But look at people who have no hair. Look at people who have all kinds of other, diseases and difficulties that they're facing in their lives. And you can see how insignificant yours is in relation to the others. Now, with regards to wiping, on its covering on your head, well, it is possible if one wears something like the ghutra, which the Saudis and local Emiratis and other Arabs wear, which is a kind of a scarf that they wear on their head. It is permissible to wipe on that. The Prophet ﷺ did so. Or if one wears a turban, one may wipe on that because it covers the hair and everything completely. But a cap where the hair is exposed, the side and the back and everything, you may not wipe on the cap. So if you want to wear the ghutra, yes, you can wipe on it, and you don't have to wipe on your head. And of course, this is something for women. Women in making wudu, they may wipe on the ghutra, on their khimar, instead of wiping on their hair. I had a question on the internet again. Please let me know if there's anything from the Sunnah to substantiate the idea that Satan is busier right before being locked up for Ramadan. Well, I don't know of anything to substantiate that. It may appear that way to us, but there's nothing specifically said by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that I know of. A question coming from Brother Shiraz. He writes, a brother involved with da'wah here in Sri Lanka says that it's haram for a woman to go out of the house without a mahram. And as evidence produces the following verse, and stay in your houses and do not display yourselves like that of the times of ignorance. This is Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 33. We know that it is haram for a woman to travel without a mahram, but I have never heard any scholar who says that it's haram for a woman to go out of her house, nor travel for legitimate needs. Therefore, could you please kindly clarify this matter on behalf of us here in Sri Lanka? Please kindly do not withhold a reply to this question, since this matter has been a cause of great concern for the Muslim community here for some time now. We would greatly appreciate your answer as soon as possible. Well, it is well known that the wives of the Prophet ﷺ used to go out of their homes, and the women of Medina used to go and pray Salatul Fajr and Salatul Isha every day. They used to leave and pray Salatul Fajr and Isha every day. And there was no specification that a mahram accompany them. Furthermore, the women of Medina were known, there were women of Medina who worked in the marketplace. That was their means of earning. They earned a living there. We know different incidents which happened, where women were working in the marketplace, etc., women shopping, etc. And there's no evidence again here that they had to have mahrams with them, that they were prohibited from going out of their house without need. The verse that you read, of course, or that you stated, and stay in your houses and do not display yourselves like that in the times of ignorance. This is a piece of a verse. And whenever one takes a piece of a verse, you can change the intended meanings. Just like the verse, for example, if we take the verse, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةِ, don't come near prayer. That could imply don't pray. But it goes on to explain وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى, when you're in a state of intoxication. So there are circumstances where a person becomes intoxicated. They had an operation and they were under anesthesia, so they're in that intoxicated kind of state. They don't pray at that time until it clears. So when we talk about the verse that you mentioned here, this verse in effect actually was referring to the wives of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and not a general thing to the women. And it was discouraging them from unnecessary, leaving the home unnecessarily. I think we have time for perhaps one more short question. Let's see if we have a short email here we can answer. Question, this is from Sister Khadija again. Mother, I recently started wearing niqab, but it makes me feel very uncomfortable. However, a few people that I've met tell me that it is an extremist practice and not required. Please, would you tell me if that is really the case, because then I would stop wearing it. Jazakallah khair. Well, the point is that the wearing of niqab, and that is like the face veil, which covers everything except for the eyes, this is something commendable in Islam. It's not an obligation, though some scholars do hold that it is obligatory. The greater evidence is that it is something recommended, commendable, but not something obligatory. So, for you to choose to do that, it is perfectly legitimate. You are rewarded for doing so. And you should feel proud that you are in fact upholding one of the sunnahs of the Prophet Muhammad's companions. With that, dear viewers, we'd like to thank you for being with us in this segment of our program, In the Light of Islam. And we hope that you'll continue to follow us, or follow our program in the future weeks, months, and as long as the program continues. You may email me at my website, bilalphillips.com. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.